Gloucestershire moved joint top of a fascinating Group C in the YB40 by thrashing Leicestershire by 7 wickets with nearly 10 overs to spare, a result which puts a big dent in the Foxes' own qualification aspirations. Put in on a slow pitch in Bristol, the visitors struggled from the off, once their captain Josh Cobb skied James Fuller high to David Payne in the 5th over. The Gloucestershire seamers found plenty of help in the surface, and Greg Smith could only top-edge Craig Miles to a running Gareth Roderick behind the stumps. Ned Eckersley scored a brilliant 100 last time out, but this time he'd made only 18 when he drove Payne out to Michael Klinger. Wickets were falling too often as far as the Foxes were concerned, and next to go was Matt Boyce, who was well taken by Roderick off Payne. The man who'd held the innings together was Niall O'Brien, but when he reverse swept Tom Smith to Fuller on 43, he left with his side on 95 for 5 in the 22nd over. That became 96 for 6 in the next one, as Shiv Thakur pulled Fuller down Ian Cobain's throw to deep square. And worse followed for Leicestershire when Michael Thornley and Rob Taylor had a moment of madness in the middle, with the former being run out by Fuller. Only 6 fours have been hit in the first 26 overs, and that remained the case into the 29th, although both Taylor and the former Gloucestershire player Anthony Ireland cleared the rope instead off Benny Howell for much needed maximums as they took the total along to 120. Ireland tried to repeat the dose, but this time failed to connect fully, to be held in the deep by Fuller, who was having quite an afternoon in the sunshine. Leicestershire were helped by a 36-run partnership for the 9th wicket, which included this amazing shot by Taylor, who was airborne when he thumped the ball for 6. His partner was James Sykes, who made a run of ball 15 before he became another to be sold a little short by Taylor, with Howell supplying the throw this time. Taylor was left on 27 when Robbie Williams nicked off in the 36th over, with the Foxes all out for 163, the kind of total which was unlikely to test their hosts too much. And it didn't. Hamish Marshall got the ball rolling with an early 6 off Ireland. Although the Kiwi didn't last too long, he took on his former teammate again, but this time found Boyce to go for 15 in the 5th over. But all that did was bring Klinger and Chris Dent together, 2 batsmen who've spent many hours at the crease together this summer. Indeed, Dent appears to have learned a lot from his more experienced skipper. Knowing that net run rate could be crucial in this incredibly tight group, Gloucestershire knew that they had a real chance to better theirs, and so these two played their shots as much as possible, wanting to get their side home as quickly as they could. Klinger made 131 not out in his last innings, even though he ended up on the losing side. He was determined to ensure that that would not be repeated, this 6 being struck on his way to yet another 50. The 100 was brought up in the 20th over, the same one in which Gloucestershire lost Dent for 31 when he nicked Cobb behind. Cobain then ignored the adage of never running on a misfield and was beaten by Williams' direct hit, which left the home side on 109 for 3 after 23. But only 55 were required from here, and Klinger was going to make that an easy chase. He top-edged Ireland for this second 6, before he joined forces with Alex Gidman to easily take his side over the line. Both batsmen kept up the rate as Leicestershire's head slipped, as they knew that this game was long lost, and with that, they'd just about fallen out of the running for a semi-final place. This result certainly didn't help them. To the second ball of the 31st over, Klinger managed to thread the ball through a host of fielders to confirm the victory and take his own tally to 89, giving him 220 runs in his last 2 innings without getting out. He is some player. And he may soon be leading his side into the YB40 semis after this convincing 7-wicket success. Gloucestershire now have 13 points, the same as group leaders Somerset, but they also have a game in hand on their West Country rivals, who come to Bristol on Bank Holiday Monday. Leicestershire now have to win their final 3 games to stand any chance.